very much, Bob. And now, the person that really kept going after this, Councillor Rick Chiarelli.
Thanks a lot, Your Worship. First of all, I want to talk about something that happened right before John Baird ran for provincial politics, and I remember a discussion we had back then, and something he told me, which was he was going to do all the work, he was going to do all the planning, he was going to be ready. He would be standing there holding the surfboard, hoping the wave came in. And he did that, and that's how he won. And in this case, in Ottawa West Nepean and in our area, and with Centrepointe Theatre, that's how we have achieved what we've achieved. We have worked very hard and planned impeccably well to ensure that when circumstances were right, we would have a chance to win and to get what we needed for our residents. And that's what's worked here today. So yes, in John Baird's riding, the construction crane has become the national bird. And it's all the result of vision and of putting in the work to make sure things were ready. Centrepointe Theatre represents the vision of Ben Franklin and of the former city of Nepean. Think about it. Somebody in the 80s had to think about where this facility would fit in the community in 2010. And they got it right. And it's because it was so right that it made so much sense to my colleagues on council to support it, to John Baird to support it, to Bob Chiarelli as a former mayor of Ottawa to support it, and to the provincial government to support it. It's because it made sense and because the work had been done on it. Now we'll move forward into a time where Centrepointe Theatre can achieve its full potential during that time, to free the stage up for paying performances that will help fund the theatre so it can fulfill its role as primarily a place that promotes community-based theatre activities. So Nepean Choir, Les Petits Ballets, those kinds of things, they are now secure as a result of this. And it's also a facility that will start to approach a break-even point because of the vision that was shown back when Ben began his stream. Bob Chiarelli put this into the city plan actually as the #1 cultural project in 2002, I believe. We gave it a shot, and the feds said no at that time. It went in again, and it didn't quite work out the next time either. But if something's going to take 4 times to succeed, you had to do the first 3, right? And finally, Mary Pitt, in the, I guess it was 1998, so the year before amalgamation was actually announced, she had the vision to realize we had to get the ball rolling on the requests because things could happen in the city of Ottawa, and we had to make sure this project and this dream was positioned properly so it could ultimately get supported. And so Mary deserves a huge thank you for that. I also want to thank the volunteers who run the theatre. This theatre would not exist without the hundreds of volunteers, the stagehands, the ushers, and everybody else in their maroon uniforms who have made that, have made this facility a real point of pride. And we have to thank Bobby Sulphur. I don't know if he's here yet. And also the theatre manager who helped really define what the theatre meant over its whole initial time with Nepean and much of its time in the new Ottawa, Barb Feldman. And now Charles McFarlane, who has the unlucky job of being handed something that's a huge success, and he basically has to make sure it keeps getting to be a bigger and bigger success, and that's a huge responsibility, but I think he can do it. I'd like to just, for a couple of seconds, ask Barb to come up.
Well, when I first arrived in Nepean in the summer of 1987, this was a hole in the ground, and it was a dream. It was a dream that had been a long time in the making, and you could feel the excitement and the anticipation was palpable. And everybody was so excited about building the theatre. But we had to adhere to the City of Nepean's pay-as-you-go principle, and as a result, we had to cut back on some of the plans, including the rehearsal hall and some support spaces. But the politicians and the staff and the users of the theatre and the volunteers never forgot that dream. And here we are today, putting another hole in the ground, making that dream come true. And I would like to say that it's been a long and arduous journey, but it was made possible because of the tenacity, people like Rick and Mary and Ben and Bob, so many others. The politicians have been fantastic, and the tenacity of the staff, both during my tenure and now in Charles, and the volunteers, of course, very important part of Centrepointe Theatre, the heart and soul of the theatre, and the users, the audience. Without you, this would never, ever have happened. And this is a very proud day for me. I really thought when it got put on I was going to say the back burner, I thought it was put on the shelf, to be honest with you. This is really an auspicious occasion, and I'm delighted to be here and part of it, and I will definitely be at the opening of the new Black Box Theatre. When is that going to be, Charles?
Well, we had to talk about that, Barbara. The money has to be spent by March 31st, 2011, right?
Oh, well, so, just call me over.
Spring next year.
Anyway, congratulations to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much.